head coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves, our colleague here at times. The Lakers unable to clear. Karl Anthony Towns jamming big ticket to the big cat. Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay, that's nice.
And the game is tied at 90.
The Rockies, Karl Anthony Towns, 14 and 12 on Wednesday in his debut. Just go ahead and do it.
Michigan
Give
State.
us one early.
Yeah. Michigan State.
All right,
Keep it low key.
we'll get you throughout the season here. Point Wolves lead at halftime. He kept it rolling in the second half. Off glass plus the foul.
I think that was supposed to be to Wiggins. Instead, he intercepted it.
Rubio, the no look, and nice touch plus the foul.
Taking contact, being able to run the floor. Then you see his other skill set, stepping out, knocking it down. Looked very comfortable, Rick. And then, okay, throw it up in traffic. It's nice.
Looks unstoppable, at least for this night.
But just a mountain of heart from these young Timberwolves. There's Karl Anthony Towns. Knocks down the three-pointer. He had 11 points on the game. That cuts the lead down to 2. On the next play, Karl Anthony Towns with the rejection of Damian Lillard. Towns had 4 blocks. Break to the third quarter we go. Kevin Garnett passes to Karl Anthony Towns, this year's #1 pick. Hoop and harm there later. It's Karl Anthony Towns off the dish from leaning on the kid. Andrew Wiggins drives and misses, but there's another kid. That's right, Karl Anthony Towns.
Look here, though, Nemanja Bjelica now giving to Karl Anthony Towns for that jump hook. That would cut their deficit, but not quite enough here. Charlotte still leading the way at that point, 93 to 84 in the fourth. In that second half, Andrew Wiggins missing this jumper. But the top pick, Karl Anthony Towns, there for the rebound and to lay.
As Detroit and Minnesota hooped it up on a Friday night. Karl Anthony Towns, man, Karl Anthony Towns. Very strong move. He had 12 points and 6 rebounds.
Getting set to take on a finalist in the Eastern Conference from a year ago, and there goes Towns. 6 points, 6 boards on the game. Minnesota up 13-2.
This time, Ricky Rubio, one of his 15 assists coming up here to Towns for the finish. Minnesota led it 59 to the back. Wiggins is going to take the shot, misses. But there's Towns to tip it right back up and in. Towns having a big game, 27.
Facing the Timberwolves, he had a rib cartilage injury that kept him out 2 games. This is not a 2 for Karl Anthony Towns. 3 of 3 from the distance. 753, Karl Anthony Towns going crazy. Then it's Minnesota with the steal. Guess who gets it? Karl Anthony Towns. He throws this one down. Magic Johnson impersonation. Little no-look to KG, who's fouled underneath. Watch it one more time. Beautiful dish down low, and Kevin Garnett can't quite get that one to go. Later in the third, Minnesota excelling at the art of the putback dunk off a Kevin Martin miss. There's a cat flying in for the putback jam over 2 defensive players. That's a Diesel Dunks nominee. Then Andre Miller missed rookie. Later, the Wolves come back. Ricky Rubio into Karl Anthony Towns for the 3. And then Rubio finds Towns for another 3-pointer. He was 2 of 4 from range on the game. His Cousins, this is the first time they've faced off. We start you off with the rookie knocking down a 3, 20-9, Minnesota in front. Later in the first, into the third quarter, Karl Anthony Towns, long jumper goes down, and it's a battle between Towns backing down Cousins, and back and forth we go. This made it 68-60. The battle of the big men continued. Rubio with a steal and a dish to the #1 pick in the draft, Karl Anthony Towns for the dunk. Minnesota looking good. Time running out in the half. Rubio driving and dishing to Towns for the mid-range jumper. Minnesota's up by 10. Then Rubio to Karl Anthony Towns. What a game he had. 24 points and 10 rebounds. 10 rebound performance on Sunday. Boston turns it over, and Ricky Rubio finds the aforementioned rookie Karl Anthony Towns for the layup plus the foul. And you see early on Boston, though, in front 11-9. 3 in the third quarter, Karl Anthony Towns gets inside and scores the layup. He had 25 points.
Hosting the red-hot San Antonio Spurs in the land of 10,000 lakes. Catman! Hitman for the T-Wolves. And that'll about do it.
Karl Anthony Towns going to work with the difficult lay-in and the foul. He was 10 of 16 from the field in the game. Then off a miss, Indiana turns it over, and it's Towns with the wonderful little pass to Andrew Wiggins, who lays that one in. Later, Andrew Wiggins drives and misses, but guess who comes calling? The big fella, Karl Anthony Towns, goes up and gets the rebound and puts that one back in. He finished the game with 24 points and 8 rebounds. The Utah Jazz, Timberwolves in transition. Gorgie Zhang passes to Anthony Towns for the little points on the game. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns on the block with the hook shot. Minnesota up 25-18. Then it's Towns again, getting the steal and taking it all the way for the layup. He gets fouled. He hits the free throw, and Minnesota goes up 31-19 at that point. Rookie Karl Anthony Towns finished with 25 points and 10 rebounds, gets the layup here. Drives, bounce pass to Karl Anthony Towns, who kisses it off the glass. He had 22 points, 9 rebounds.